What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So Lennox Lewis is back at it. Very critical of Anthony Joshua fighting Jarrell Big Baby Miller in the States. Says that Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury was Anthony Joshua's worst nightmare, and they diminished his star power. They dimmed his light. He said that they misjudged everything as far as negotiations go. They should have took the $50 million to fight Deontay Wilder in the States. Now he's forced to fight Jarrell Big Baby Miller here in the States, and he's stating that not only is he doing so, but nobody knows who Jarrell Big Baby Miller is. That nobody knows him, right? So he's stating that now, he had to take the short end of the stick because Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury had an epic fight, and now they're going to have a rematch. And now he's forced to fight a guy that nobody knows in the States, right? When he had the opportunity to face Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury, if he just offered them the proper, respectable negotiation, been respectable in the negotiations, right? Here's a few things he had to say, Lennox Lewis. Let's listen to this. No, it's not playing. So, hold on, while I get this to play. So Lennox Lewis, he's very critical of Anthony Joshua. We knew this, he's been this way for quite some time. Lennox Lewis, been stated that Anthony Joshua needed to come over to the States, to make his star power grow. He says that every heavyweight, it's good to fight over in the UK, but every fighter at some point in time is going to have to come and cross the pond and fight over in the States. So he stated that, you have to come across the pond to become a big fish, in the sport of boxing. Eventually, you're going to have to make your way over to the States to become a big fish, in the sport of boxing, right? So he's, and Lennox Lewis is right. You have the likes of a Joe Calzaghe who never crossed the pond. He retired undefeated. But nobody knows who Joe Calzaghe is, right? Joe Calzaghe is not mentioned as one of the greats. You understand? Joe Calzaghe is a forgotten man due to the fact of the lack of exposure. He never crossed the pond until late in his career to face the likes of a Roy Jones, Bernard Hopkins. He could have faced a James Toney in his prime. He could have faced a lot of middleweights. But he chose not to. And so with him doing so, right, it saw Joe Calzaghe career, not flourish, to the level that it should have, if he had just crossed the pond and made it happen, but he chose not to, and with that said, Joe Calzaghe never reached his full potential as far as his star power go. He came up short. And so as it stands, he retired undefeated. But as it stands, when you mention the greats, you don't mention Joe Calzaghe. When you mention undefeated fighters, Joe Calzaghe is not one of the names that's mentioned. And that's due to his own likening.
Had the #1 spot. But after the Fury and Deontay fight, I think that diminished because, everybody wants to see that fight again. And there could be a third one. And that really just left Anthony hanging on the shelf. Now he's boxing some babyface guy that nobody knows. And
And he not even saying Big Baby Miller, right? He calling him babyface. That's Adam Kalnaki.
Joshua right now had the #1 spot.
Joshua right now had
the Fury and Deontay.
He said Joshua right now had the #1 spot at the time, but now he let it go. He let it disappear. Listen.
Joshua right now had the #1 spot, but after the Fury and Deontay fight, I think that diminished because everybody wants to see that fight again, and there could be a third one. And that really just left Anthony hanging on the shelf. Now he's boxing some babyface guy that nobody knows, and you know, no disrespect to Babyface, but nobody knows him. I haven't seen him fight.
He keeps calling he calls Big Baby Miller Babyface. He's saying that now he's forced to fight a guy in the States by the name of Babyface that nobody knows. I mean, see, this is what everybody's been talking about. You know, Anthony Joshua had the opportunity to grab the bull by the horns, and the bull being his career, and steer it in the right direction. You know, he was in total control at one point. You know, even Deontay Wilder agreed that he was the A side. You know, and he had the opportunity to fight for $80 million, $50 million first fight, $30 million guaranteed on the back end for the second fight. That's a total of $80 million for 2 fights. And all he had to do was include a rematch clause and accept $50 million that he asked for up front. And he chose not to. He chose to renege on that. And with that said, you know, he said that he wasn't going to sell his soul to come over and fight in the States when he owed it to the fans in the UK to fight in the UK. Now, I understand that he says that, you know, there's never been an undisputed heavyweight fight on UK soil. Now, I understand that. But then, in the same token, you turn around, okay, so you didn't take the $50 million. You didn't take the $80 million. But then you offered Deontay Wilder a flat fee, and all he asked for a rematch clause in that contract, and he was going to come over and fight in the UK, and you allowed that to slip away, right? And when he was agreeing to everything you wanted, except he wanted a rematch clause, which Eddie Hearn turned around and stated that anybody in their right mind with a champion in the sport of boxing, he said it's a standard that everybody should have. If you're a champion, that you should have a rematch clause. Then why would you not offer Deontay Wilder a rematch clause when he's the longest reigning champion in the sport of boxing? You understand? So you let that slip away. You let this opportunity slip away. You let Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury's star power rise there. So Lennox Lewis is 1,000% correct in this situation. Now he's coming over here. He's fighting Jarrell Big Baby Miller, who only hardcore boxing fans know. That's my guy, Jarrell Big Baby Miller. But only hardcore boxing fans know Jarrell Big Baby Miller. He's not a household name, and casuals don't know who he is. So Lennox Lewis is 1,000% right. And now he's coming over to the States. When he could have came to the States to fight for $50 million, now he's going to come to the States to fight for a significantly less amount of money. But that's all I got, man. Lennox Lewis totally trashed Anthony Joshua versus Jarrell Big Baby Miller. Let me know what y'all think, man. It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. Lennox Lewis says that Anthony Joshua has been forced to face a guy that nobody knows in the States when he could have came to the States and fought for $80 million, and he let his star dim on his own, through his own doing. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.